Welcome to the XS Manchester Evening Show, 10 Tons.
Hello, how you doing?
What are we going with? Are we going with 10 Tons or Mr. Tons? Or
You can call me Ethan, it's all good.
Ethan. Ethan. Now, see, it's interesting that you say Ethan, because when we first started playing 10 Tons, your first tunes on the radio, it was kind of whispered. Silver Heat, I think it was, we were playing.
Yeah.
And it was whispered amongst the people at XS Manchester, God, you can't mention his real name. and because obviously your brother's George Ezra,
Yeah.
that no one, it was like you were trying to hide that your big brother was this fella called George Ezra, who'd obviously come before and had the success, and you wanted to be your own man. Was that ever the case, or was that just us being paranoid?
No, I think that was, I don't want to call you paranoid, but I think that might have been it. Yeah, just, that was never came from me, but because our names aren't even the same anyway, because my name's Ethan Barnett, so it wouldn't have led to anything anyway. But yeah, it kind of feels weird when people call me 10 Tons. It's just, you can call me Ethan.
Obviously, George is, I've met him before, and he's a nice guy, and he's got this reputation for being the nice guy in music. Does that make you the evil one? Are you going to be the evil brother if he's the nice one?
No, not at all. No, we're both good guys.
Good to hear. And your sister makes music as well, doesn't she? So you got three of you making music in your family.
She used to. She doesn't. She hasn't for years and years now.
Where did that come from? Was it kind of that kind of household? Was it like the Von Trapps in
My
Sound
dad's
of
very
Music?
musical. Yeah, my dad's in a band and he plays guitar. So yeah, it's kind of there's always instruments about.
Let's talk about you then, because your debut album is on the way. It's felt like it's a long time coming, this, because it feels like you've been making music for a long time.
Yeah, it feels like I was kind of quite getting a bit impatient before it came out, because I was like, I just want to put it out. But now it kind of feels like the perfect timing, really. I think I've had enough time to write the songs and make them as good as they can be. So yeah, I think it's good timing, really.
How does it feel when you've been working on an album for so long to finally get it released? Is it exciting, or is there a case of, because you know these songs so well, you've been playing them for so long, you're kind of, I want to get that out there and I want to move on to the next thing. I want to do whatever's going to be next after this album.
I'm definitely excited to get it out. I'm most excited about the songs that people haven't heard yet, I think, because once the songs are out, they kind of become everyone else's, really. I don't listen to them anymore. So it's kind of the ones that aren't out yet, I'm excited for people to hear those. But yeah, I've been writing for the second album and stuff like that. It's kind of on to the next thing already. But yeah, trying to enjoy it at the moment as well.
With this first album, obviously you've been writing music for a long time. It's been 3 years since you released your debut stuff. So how long have you been working on the songs that are in this album? When do you reckon the first one, or the oldest one, was written?
The oldest one would have been written when I was about 18 years old. So
Right.
I'm going to be 23 this year. So that's 5 years, I guess. But then the newest ones were done, finished in September last year. So I guess that's kind of old still. But yeah, kind of a big gap between some of them, yeah.
Do you remember the first song you wrote? Like, if that was 18, do you remember how old were you when the first one
I
came
would have been
out?
about 13 or 14. It wasn't actually too bad. It's quite good, but yeah, I never did anything with it.
Do you still have it on the back burner? Is it going to appear at some point later?
No,
in
I
an
don't
album?
think so. It wasn't that good. No.
Can you give us a sample?
I'm not going to give you an a cappella sample of my first ever song. No.
Gutted. So, music's such a personal thing, obviously, and you've been writing this stuff for a long time. And how old are you now?
22.
So you're 22. You've got songs from when you were 18. Is it a little bit like when you open up an old diary and you look back at the pages, and particularly I'm thinking maybe lyrically, you're looking at stuff you've written about from the past and you're kind of like, oh, cringing a little bit that how you used to write or how you used to be or any of that?
Not really. I kind of, I think there's definitely songs before I was 18 that have that kind of cringe element to them. But I think that's kind of just starting out. You kind of have to make those kind of mistakes and learn what's good and what's not. But I think since around 18 was when I started, I took my own trumpet but got a bit better. Started getting a bit good. So I think they're all kind of good.
What I like about your tunes is there seems to be, well, you've got many different gears, but particularly there's two different gear shifts in it. It's like the big, raucous, sort of upbeat, almost festival-y songs, I guess that you call them.
Yeah.
And then there's the more slightly soulful, slower, heartfelt stuff. Do you have a preference? Do you really like playing one and not so much the other, or is it's kind of like you like having those waves in your performance? You like bringing it up and then taking it back again?
I definitely feel like the big chorusy kind of raucous stuff comes more naturally to me. That's kind of what I'm most comfortable with writing. The kind of more ballady stuff, I enjoy writing it because it's more of a challenge for me to kind of get there. And I've been trying to write even different kind of styles recently as well to kind of test what I can do. But yeah, definitely the big chorus stuff, that's the funnest to play and the most natural for me, definitely.
What kind of crowds have you got coming up in 2019? Have you got many festivals that you're going to be able to play these big tunes to?
Yeah, I'm doing Reading in Leeds again, which is mad because that's the 4th year in a row I've done it now, which is insane. It was the first festival I went to was Reading, so it always feels cool going back there.
As a performer or just in general?
Yeah, just in general, when I was like 15 years old, I
Right.
went there. So that was, yeah, it's a good weekend. So it's always cool to kind of go back and play to those similar crowds. But yeah, a bunch really. I'm not sure what I can announce at the moment, but I'll be about, yeah.
You don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
What kind of festival goer are you as a performer then? Because I think you have different types. You have the people that always try and play on a Friday and then just lose the rest of the weekend. You have some
Yeah.
that are the consummate professionals. They go in, they do their set, they leave again. Do you go big and go home, or?
If I had a choice, I'd definitely playing on the Friday and then staying for a bit is very good. But I kind of, whenever people will have me, I'll play.
Right, okay.
I can't throw my weight around too much. I'll play whenever they'll have
You're
me.
grateful.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you partake? Do you like enjoy a bit of backstage action with your fellow bands and get involved in the riders, or?
Not really. I feel like that's kind of all a bit more myth than reality.
Oh,
but
don't! Oh,
no,
don't
sorry
ruin
to
it for me.
to break the curse, but not the curse, the magic. But yeah, it's all pretty chilled backstage nowadays. There's a lot of like vegan food and stuff like that. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, everyone's kind of taking it a bit more sensible nowadays. I think it's a lot
Now-
more riding on it.
I've heard rumours. You might be able to confirm this,
Mhm.
that you have your own dance move. Is this true?
I think I know what you mean, but we haven't done it in ages. It was something that my session band and me kind of came up with. We tried to like make a bit of a viral dance craze, kind of just taking the piss of kind of things that have come before. But I think you're referring to a bread and dip.
I am. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what I'm referring to, the bread and the dip. How did that come about? Obviously, you just said it was your attempt to make a little viral dance.
Yeah.
crave.
It was one of my mates from school just used to buy a big loaf of bread and dip for his lunch every school lunch.
You went to a posh school.
It wasn't. It actually wasn't. It was like because he only had a quid. He had £2 every day, one for the bus and one to get lunch. So
What,
the
are we
quid.
talking like hummus dips?
Nah, it was more like you could get like chicken sandwich filler dip. So I don't know if that's even technically a
Okay.
dip. It's just like chicken into a paste with like cheese in it. I fuck knows. But yeah, so you kind of do that and then dip.
Look, I'm gonna move back a little bit so I can see this
The art of
properly,
radio.
because like, I dance like I'm allergic to music.
you do
So,
like
if you can teach me to
you
dance.
do like a
it's
little spin as if you're like
Like that?
spinning the bread and
Okay.
then dip it down.
like- so it's like a spin and a power grab.
Exactly. Yeah.
Spin and power grab.
Exactly.
Do many people do that at your gigs?
No, and I'm very glad that they don't. I'm trying to kill it out, to be honest with you.
Well, do you know what? Let's bring it back. If you're going down to Ethan's gig at Gorilla in Manchester on the 13th of May, you're back in town for that.
Yeah.
So we're going to see loads of people doing the bread and dip in there. Right, I want to finish with your big three.
Mhm.
So 3 bands from you that you'd like to recommend or that you'd like to cite as influences. One from the past, one from the present,
Mhm.
and one from the future. So who would your big 3 be?
Okay, so from the past, I was listening to a bit of him in the van, so I'd say Elvis Costello.
Oh, yeah.
Can't beat him. Great songwriter.
Is there any vocal influence in there? Because
Yeah,
vocally there's
definitely.
quite a similarity.
Definitely. Kind of that like late 70s, so like Tom Petty and Graham Parker and stuff like that. Kind of all that kind of stuff I love. So.
Yeah.
Then from the present, I'd say. Put me on the spot.
Just give you time to think about these things.
Yeah. Who have I been listening to recently? I'd say Vampire Weekend because their new
Okay.
single's really great.
It is, yes.
And then
Very Simon and Garfunkel-esque.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really nice.
And what about from the future? Because you've been touring with some up-and-coming names already,
Yeah,
people
yeah,
like
yeah.
Ratboy.
Mm-hmm.
So who would you pick for you
Well,
from
the band
future?
that's supporting us on this leg of on this little bit of tour, a band called the Pale White, and they are amazing. So yeah, give a shout out to them.
Bro. Ethan, thank you very much for coming in.
Cheers,
Really
Jim.
appreciate
Cheers.
it. Good luck for what happens next and the launch of the debut album. We're going to play your latest single, Better Than Me. Do you want to introduce it?
Here we go. This is my new single, Better Than Me.